Hey, Rachel.
Hi,
How's
everybody.
it going? Hi, everybody. Hey, we're coming at you, not live, apparently.
I mean, technically, sort of live. You could catch
Technically,
it.
sort of live. Yeah.
You could be logged in right now.
Yeah, if you're logged in. But we're working on that, and we'll come up with our best version of that and keep you updated on what that's going to look like. But but here we are coming at you from Oregon Weight and Wellness. And Rachel, wasn't that so fun? I'm so glad that you told me about the Fill Your Pantry event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the turnout, with the quality of produce and food, and the samples were so delicious. I mean, Costco's got nothing on a farmer's market.
That's right.
Nothing.
Amen, Sister Bridget. Preach. I mean, I was so impressed with the knowledge that the farmers had about the food that they grew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really are passionate. They know what they're doing. They live this, right? This is their livelihood. And they're really passionate. You know, I noticed a lot of programming around getting healthy food to people's tables and helping people be in touch with their food and understand where their food is coming from. And, you know, teaching.
Keep talking because I want to show something. Keep talking.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're going to show. Just a lot of teaching. I mean, for instance, there was a mushroom farmer and they had grow your own mushrooms, these kits.
Oh,
how cool is that? Yes. I love it so much. It's on my refrigerator.
Slow the fork down.
Slow the fork down. Every single person who's ever taken the Slow Down Diet group or has read the book, and these are all patients of yours, they know what that means. They are getting a kick out of it right now. So I love it so much.
Yeah, so it was great. I'm so glad that you told us about that. And they have some other great December events too, like in Albany and Corvallis. So we'll let people know about those.
Yeah.
And because, you know, they're growing food all year round.
Right.
And, you know, Winter Garden. The other great poster that we both picked up was, you know, eat winter vegetables. So
yes,
I thought that was great.
Yeah, it's not. And then there's this whole winter produce thing going on. Like it's not.
Yeah. So we're going to be going to that farmers market in December too. So that's awesome. I picked up some fun, like new things that I didn't know existed before, like purple barley.
Yeah. And what's great about the barley that you picked up is not pearled barley. So there's a difference between hulled and pearled. Pearled barley is what you typically find in most grocery stores or bulk centers that are like Winco or something. And it's had a lot of the fiber stripped away. So there's multiple layers to this grain, and they've pulled some of the layers away. This is kind of like why they can make brown rice quick rice. Well, they pull layers of the fiber away so that it cooks more quickly.
Right.
But it has less fiber and many of the nutrients are stripped. So whenever you can, and if you're buying a whole grain, and these were a lot of these ancient grains and this organic grain farmer, which just had some excellent varietals, but these are whole. They're called hulled, not pearled. And it gets confusing, but you want all of the layers of the fiber of that grain. It's going to take longer to cook, and it will be a little bit more. It's like the difference between whole wheat pasta and white pasta. Yeah. Right. It's going to be a little bit more fibrous, a little bit more robust. But teach yourself how to eat that way, because that's what full nutrition of the grain is.
Exactly. Great point. And what I also think, well, anyway, what he told me when he planted this early spring, so this particular barley is going to have more protein content as well. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
And a beautiful deep purple color.
Oh, anthocyanins, right? Yeah. So we're gonna check a bunch of boxes there. Yeah, I'm gonna use it in a roasted vegetable medley for Thanksgiving, but I'll have to try it out before. Yeah. I also got some delicata squash, which I personally have never bought before.
Oh, so good. I mean, you can eat the skin, right? You just eat the
Yes.
whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing.
So good.
Yeah. So that was great.
Mhm.
And anyway, it was great. Anyway, to our book. Yeah, we are on chapter 27, I believe.
Yes, chapter 27.
And his first point is
save the cake for your birthday. Now, this first section was long and he kind of was all over the place. But I was kind of having a hard time pulling out what the main purpose was. I think his number one point is cake for your birthday, not for everybody else's birthday and graduation and, anniversary and Christmas and all the you're eating cake and desserts
every day.
Every day.
Exactly, because we celebrate something every day. I mean, you look at your calendar. Today is donut day. The next day is grandparent day. The next day is, I don't know, take your child to school day. The next day is, we've got these celebrate this, celebrate that every day. Every day is a celebration. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily wrong or bad or whatever, but I'm saying we don't need to celebrate with cake.
Right. Right. We don't need to celebrate every time. And chances are, if you work in any kind of an office building or office setting, people are bringing things in to celebrate those holidays. Mm-hmm. And the grocery stores are getting on board. They're going to market the heck out of that stuff. And you're going to see not just Mother's Day and Father's Day anymore. You're going to see all kinds of like son and daughter day. And you're going to see candy bouquets in the flower department.
Day.
Yeah.
Hot dog day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little crazy, but so the point he's saying is celebrate a piece of cake on your birthday, and watch and enjoy as everyone else celebrates their sweet on their birthdays or their holidays.
That's exactly right. And I was thinking about this. I've heard another person say, you could have a certain amount of holidays throughout the year, and then the rest are healthy days. And some people are proactive enough to say, okay, I'm going to celebrate my anniversary, my birthday, my kid's birthday, whatever. And they have 12 or 14 days out of all throughout the year, not one after another, but all throughout the year where they've decided, pre-planned. Right. That's my holiday.
Yes.
And so if somebody offers them a piece of cake, let's say, they check their calendar and say, oh, not my holiday. It's my healthy day. So that they are able to say, no, thank you. And because they've thought about it beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Not my holiday. I think I've got a new acronym now. Mm-hmm. NMH, because we already in coaching talk about not my food, not my food or not my favorite. Like that's NMF. I don't, and kind of becoming disenchanted with the enchantment that food holds over us. But I like this, not my holiday. Let me check my calendar. Nope, sorry, not my holiday. It's my holiday. I love that. That is so great. And really, if you did take a little accounting of your year, look back at your previous year, and if you can count how many days of the year do you think you were probably celebrating or eating these treats and desserts based on what was being brought or being celebrated, I think you'd be very surprised. We underestimate how much sugar we're taking in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And we're really not trying to detract from anybody else's celebration of their day.
Yeah.
And to your point, you want to enjoy with them, celebrate with them, just not with the sugar.
Yeah. It's not required. It doesn't need to be and a gentle no thank you for any of those food pushers out there. You know who you are. Gentle no thank you, and you can still be. You're not suffering, right? The point is not to be suffering or to be restricted. It's more about I'm choosing wisely where my holidays are.
Right. That's right. Yeah, because if we treat ourselves every day, it's no longer a treat. And I think that's another one of his points.
It absolutely is.
It just becomes the norm.
Right.
And it's not a treat. So if we scale it back and hold the treat for a special occasion, then it becomes more enjoyed.
Right.
Yeah.
We can actually derive the pleasure out of it,
Mhm.
rather than if we're eating it on a regular basis. We're just eating it out of habit at that point. We're eating it because it's what you're supposed to do at a celebration or at a function, and not because we really desire it, and not
Mhm.
because it has a great pleasure to it.
Yeah.
So there is something to keeping it held back and not doing it too frequently, so
Mhm.
that when we do choose it, and again, it's coming to your choice. It's not restriction. You're not punishing yourself.
Right.
You're in control.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah. I think I jumped into his indulge less or enjoy more, his second point. I think I jumped into that.
Oh, that's maybe why I was
Confused.
confused. I jumped into that one too when I was reading it. Yeah, you're right. His second point is indulge less and to enjoy more. So
Yeah.
we just spoke to that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that kind of speaks for itself. Indulge
Mhm.
less, enjoy
Mhm.
more.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And this other one, I like it kind of, to your point, if we kind of took an account
Mm-hmm.
of, how much sugar we were doing or eating, we would really be surprised. So his third point is about tracking something. And if we tracked our holidays, and, we weren't judging ourselves necessarily, we're using that as a point of information, some data, then we could say, okay, when I have this many holidays in my week, month, year,
Mm-hmm.
this is what happens to my health.
Right.
And if I have less holidays in my week, month, year, this is what happens with my health. And so if we, so it's not a point of judging or overly restricting, or it's just a point of observing and getting that information to say, oh, this is the level of health that I want. And for me personally, this is how many holidays I can have.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And there is some balancing. There is some figuring out to do. And I think it's a really healthy form of tracking and figuring out, because once you do get to the health that you're looking for, you want to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to know the level, the number of holidays that your body can healthfully indulge in and engage in, and maintain the health that you're looking for.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, he's also specifically, I thought, Rachel, his the study that he looked at in this last point was really phenomenal, because he's talking about tracking what you do for health, like your steps or your exercise or something like that. Yeah. And there were two groups of people. Oh, and the information and how how it helps you.
Right.
And so there's two groups of people. One had more information than the other. They were pretty much doing the same exercise, but one derived more benefit than the other.
Isn't that crazy? And their movement and exercise was part of their job.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't that they were, but so knowing the rewards that you get and why you're choosing something, and that does take that mindfulness and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But his point ultimately in this part of the book is to track and give yourself credit for the movement that you are getting, and recognizing the benefit that you are receiving, and bring it your own attention to it as you're doing it. So, maybe when you're cleaning the house, stop and think, wow, I'm not sedentary right now. I'm not watching TV. I'm moving my body. I'm using my muscles and my mobility and my flexibility, and my heart rate is elevated. And this is really good for me and my mental health. And reminding yourself why you're doing something and that you are doing it. Yeah. And it's not so that you can eat more later or stack up calories, because I promise you, if you do it that way, you're going to overeat. We always overestimate how many calories we burn when we do this. That's not the point. The point is to be paying attention and giving yourself the credit for the health benefits that you're deriving and what you are doing.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Rachel, can I make a confession about this one?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times we track with our wearable devices, right? Yeah. And sometimes, and I want to close that ring, but, sometimes I have some all or none thinking around this.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I forgot to plug my phone in or my watch in. And so that I don't, so, well, so it doesn't, or I didn't track all my steps, because I wasn't wearing it. So I didn't get all those steps tracked.
Yeah.
Or for whatever reason, it wasn't working well. So then I just say, forget about it. Yeah. I throw in the towel. I say, that's not working.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have this all or none thinking about tracking, because if I can't track every little step, then I don't want to track anything.
Yeah.
So help me with that thought.
Well, there's a lot going on there. And the all or nothing always leaves us with nothing. Every time
all or nothing
always
leaves us with nothing.
Yeah. The minute you throw in the towel, you just got nothing. You got nothing. Right. And nobody gets to where they want to go, whether it's in your career, in your health, with your relationships, growing up. Everything you've done in your life has taken a long time, has taken many steps. You did not get there overnight, and you're not going to get here overnight. Yeah. And so it's a fallacy that we all have. We understand the big prizes and we see the big giant stories and we're like, oh, I want that. Or we make a decision. I want to be healthy. And then we suddenly somehow feel like we can have it yesterday. Like, I want it now. We kind of throw these little fits, right? These little temper tantrums, but I want it now. And if I can't have it now, I'm not going to do it at all. Well, who are you harming? Self. What good does that do? How's that working for you, basically?
You're right. Yeah, I know you're right.
Yeah. So I love that I just all or nothing leaves you with nothing. Right.
And that is so good. All or nothing leaves you with nothing. Yeah. Yeah. I do get excited about having to go check the mail, because I'm getting a few more steps in. And exactly. And I'm outside and I'm breathing fresh air. And so, So just reminding yourself of all the good. Yeah. I like that.
I've forgotten my watch, or I didn't have it on, or it wasn't charging. It's changing the mindset of it. So then when I do put my watch back on and I look at the rings, or I look at the tally, in my mind, I'm like, but I know I was even better than that, because I wasn't wearing it for 2 hours and I know I moved around. So I kind of change my perspective, like, oh, it doesn't even know how good I really am. Oh, it doesn't even know, it's and so that way it can kind of be playful.
Right. I like that. That's so good. Playful rather than obsessed.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. These are good points. All right. Well, on that note, what is for dinner?
Ooh, you're going to love this. Well, right now in my oven is roasting some of the Jerusalem artichoke, the purple potatoes, and sweet potatoes. I'm doing some roast of some of the vegetables I got at the farmer's market. That's just to fill my fridge a little bit and to cook them before they go bad. But for dinner tonight, we're going to make the walnut pesto kale, whatever it was that we sampled at the farmer's market. I have a little recipe card. They gave out recipe cards for things that we got to sample. And so I'm doing that tonight. I cannot wait.
Oh, that's
I have a big head of kale fresh from the farmer's market that I get to use in it.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
How about you?
Yes, for me, my husband's doing this extended fast. He's on day 4. So he's doing a fast, and my job is to clean out the refrigerator.
You're going to Hoover it through the fridge, huh?
Yeah. So it's going to be, a little of this, a little of that. Thankfully, we have a lot of fresh vegetables in there. So I'm going to make a salad. And then right before this fast, we'd had people over. And so we still have leftover stew from that. So I have to finish that off. But my goal, Rachel, is not to go to the grocery store before my Thanksgiving grocery store run.
Wow.
I know.
So you get to get creative. You get to look at what you've got. I love that idea of eating through your pantry, eating through the fridge, and getting creative then. It may not be your normal go-tos, but then you've got to stretch yourself a little bit. And then learn to be content with whatever might be one of those weird dinners where nothing really matches. Remember I told you about girl lunch or girl dinner, where it's kind of like, what the heck even is this? It's just random foods placed, but it's okay. It doesn't have to go together.
Yeah. And so that's 23. I'll probably go to the grocery store maybe on the 20th. There's there's a mad rush always.
There is a mad rush.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 23. But that's like 11 days of not going to now 11 plus 4. Yeah. So that'll be 2 weeks of not going to the grocery store. That doesn't seem like a huge deal, but anyway, I'm going to try it.
There we go.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun challenge.
Yeah. All right.
All right, friends.
Well, good talking with you. And yeah, we'll keep you updated on what our live means. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.